Hello everyone, welcome to the video tutorial. This video tutorial is about Swift Codable. What is Swift Codable? Basically, to give you a context, every mobile app need to fetch the data or they need to send some data to the remote endpoints, which can be a backend server. The most widely used format to transport the data from backend server to the app or from the app to the backend server is JSON. So it is very widely used, and that's why Swift has provided a very easy mechanism to decode the data and encode the data. So today we are talking about Swift Codables. What are the Swift Codable? If you see Codable, you can see it's just a type alias on two protocols, which is decodable and encodable. So basically this is a type which is composed of two other types, decodable and encodable. What is decodable and what is encodable? So if you see the name, I think you can guess. Decodable is when we decode JSON to Swift models, and encode is when we encode Swift models into the JSON and send them. So decoding would be used when we download the data from the server, and encoding will be used when we are sending data to the server. In this video, we will only talk about. Basically, I got 3 JSON files, JSON data, which we will parse into the Swift models. So if you can see, this one is very simple, and then data get complex. Earlier, Swift provide a very easy mechanism to decode the data. So what does that mean? So let's say we are going to decode example 1, which is basically, it's a very simple data. It's an array of 2 JSON objects. Basically this JSON data is representing a fixture. So this one is very basic. Definitely the real data will be even more complex, and we will make it a little bit complex in few moments. So to parse this data into the Swift struct or a class, what we need to do is first we need to declare a struct which actually conforms to that decodable protocol. So there are a few steps. First step is to declare a model object, which is basically could be a struct or a class, and I'm going to declare a struct, and which should implement decodable protocol. Once you conform to the decodable protocol, that means Swift now able to decode it, as long as all the properties of this struct are decodable. Okay, so if you see this data structure, it has ID, which is integer, then a home team ID integer, and then the away team ID, which is integer as well. So to model it here, we can say ID int, and then let home team ID int, and then let away team ID, which is again an integer. This is a decodable struct now, and as long as name of the properties here are the same as the keys in the JSON object, we're going to decode them. I have wrote this code here to actually which going to help us to decode. And if you see this is just creating a URL, point to one of these, right? So in this case it will be like example 1 to point to this one, and then it converts that JSON into the binary data and then pass it to the JSON decoder. And we are asking JSON decoder to give us array of fixture back, because if you see this data, this is an array and each object is a fixture. So basically it's mapping to the array of the fixtures. So if we run this code now, I guess we should be fine. And here you go, you can see these are basically, it's printing 2 objects. So this is how easy it is to decode JSON data into Swift models. So as I said earlier, that this example is very simple, but in reality data can be very complex. If you see this data is a bit complex. Now home team and away team, basically those two are object now, Before they were just IDs, and they will map to their own type inside the fixtures Swift class, Swift structure. And you can see here we are using URL, and that URL will also again be a type URL. So we have a little bit complex data. So if you see, before we just had this team ID and away team ID, now it's gone. So first thing we need to model is basically another type, which is team, and that has ID, which is int. Then it has a name, I guess, which is a string, and a URL, which is of type URL, and it has URL. Then inside fixture, now three properties. One is ID, then a home team, and then the away team. So home team, which is of type team, and then the away team, which is type team again. But now you will see we will have an error here. It says like it doesn't conform to the decodable protocol, because as I said earlier, like decodable struct or a decodable type should have all the properties decodable. However, our team is a custom type, and that's not decodable. So how we can fix this? We can just implement decodable, conform to the decodable protocol here, and that error is just go away. Here we will use example 2 now, and I guess we are fine. So let's try this again. And here you can see we are successful. So you can see here as well, like we got 2 objects, and those you can see. And then in the console down here, you can see these IDs, URL is there, and everything is fine. Let's add a little more complexity. So if you see JSON data is not always named correctly, or you can say properly, or in a way you want it. So sometimes JSON keys can be something completely different. Let's say this one, league underscore type. If you see the league type, this is league underscore type, and I guess this is good for the JavaScript at the JSON, but in Swift we don't like underscores. So if I'm gonna name it, I will name it like this, let league type, and I will, for now, I will keep it as a string. So now if you see, this is different. This is league type without the underscore, and it is camel case. Over there it was all lowercase, but like with underscore in it. As I already said, if the name of the property is not same as the name of the key in the JSON you want to decode, then it's going to fail. So now I'm going to change to the example 3. This is going to fail now because this is not matching to this key. So let's see what happens. There you go, key not found. So it says league type, we couldn't find this in the JSON. So how to fix this? So to fix this, we just need to tell JSON decoder the mapping between keys and the properties. So it is very simple. We just need to declare an enum. Should implement to coding key. So now we need to tell case league type is equal to this league type. So that's it, that's gonna work. But there is one catch. Once we declare one coding key, we need to mention all other keys as well. So we need to say ID, and then we need to say home team, and then we need to say away team. So, and this one is the one where we need to map, we need to tell the mapping, and I guess that's it. So if we try again, we should be fine. There you go. Yeah, we are all good. If you can see, this league type is now Champions League, and the other object league type should be Premier League. Here you go, here it is. So yeah, that's it. This is how easy JSON parsing in the Swift, and this is how a decodable make our life easier.